In this video, we are going to be focusing on multiplication of decimal numbers. But before then, what is multiplication? This is simply the operation that combines two numbers to find their total. It involves repeated addition. But in this case, we are going to be focusing on numbers, multiplying numbers that has decimal points. Let's take an example with this. Let's say 1, 1, right? This is 11. What if we have 1.1? In this case, we can't call this 11 because we have decimal number in between. Let's take an example with normal calculation and set 11 multiplied by 2. This is simply going to be 22. What about 22 multiplied by 2? And this is simply going to be 44. Alright, let's take an example. Let's say we are given, let's say 2 by 2, and this is simply going to be 4. Alright, so what we're trying to explain here is this. The third step here is for us to place the decimal in the product by counting from the right. Let's follow the step and see if we can solve this problem here on the top. In the first case, we are given 3.5 and we are asked to multiply this by 2.4. How can we solve this problem? Feel free to pause the video and try it yourself. So, according to the steps, we said first thing we need to do is to treat the numbers as if they are whole numbers, meaning we are going to ignore the point in between them. Instead of 3.5, this is simply going to be 35. Multiplied by, instead of 2.4, it's simply going to be 24. But before you do that, in the first case, which is 3.5, we have 1 decimal places. And the second place, 2.4, we also have 1 decimal places. So 1 plus 1, this is simply going to be 2. This simply means that, this is making total of 2 decimal places. So 35 multiplied by 24, if you punch in your calculator, this is simply going to be 840. Since we have 2 decimal places and we are asked to count it from the right hand side, which is this is going to be 1, 2. Then we are going to place our point here. Then the final answer is going to be 8.40, which is the same thing as writing 8.4. In this case, 3.5 multiplied by 2.4, this is simply going to be 8.4. Let's try the second one. In this case, we are given 1.75 and we are asked to multiply this by 0.6. In the first case, we have 2 decimal places, which is 2, and in the second case, 0.6, we have 1 decimal places, making total of 3 decimal places. So, and first thing we need to do is to treat the numbers as if they are whole numbers. 0 plus 6, this is simply going to be 6. 1.7 is going to be 175. 175 multiplied by what? 6. 175 multiplied by 6, this is simply going to be 1050. So, and our number of decimal places here, we said, is 3. So, we are going to count it this way by saying, here is going to be 1, 2, 3. Right? So, our final answer is going to be what? It's going to be 1.050. Therefore, 1.75 multiplied by 0.6, this is simply going to be 1.05. And this is it for this problem. Let's look at the last one. In this case, we are given 2.456 and you have to multiply it by 7.89. If you notice on your left hand side, we have 3 decimal places, which is 1, 2, 3. This is going to be 3 plus on our right hand side we have 2 decimal places, which is making the total of 5. We have 5 decimal places. So let's treat the numbers let's treat the decimal point as if they are whole numbers. Instead of 2.456, we are going to have 2456, and we are going to multiply it by 789. Try to punch this on your calculator. This is simply going to be 1935 944. 1935 944. Next thing we need to do is to count the numbers of decimal places we have, and in this case this is 5. We are going to start with the right hand side. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is 5, what will be our final answer? This simply indicates that 2.456, and if you multiply this by 7.89, this is simply going to be 19.35944. And this is it for this problem. Thank you for watching.